My top albums from 1970, and this album, the first Stephen Stills solo album, comes in at number 4. Now, as always, I'll take it track by track. Just a little brief history. Stephen Stills, of course, was part of the infamous Crosby, Stills and Nash at the time. And prior to that, of course, Neil Young and Richie Furay in the late 60s had been part of the very influential Buffalo Springfield. Now, Stephen Stills' first solo album, 10 tracks in all. Let's go through it. The first track, Love the One You With. Well, this became almost anthem-like for the hippie fraternity as a sing-along Summer of Love song, and the harmonies were truly Crosby, Stills and Nash, with both of the other guys on guest harmony vocals. There's an organ solo which links lovely with some Latino percussion, which is another highlight. It's the sort of song that you really can't stop actually singing along to. Big hit in the States, didn't get anywhere in the UK. On to second song now, Do For Others. This is a nice acoustic tempoed song. Another selfless message from Steve about giving love. And he plays some very nice picking style acoustic guitar. To track 3, Church, Part of Someone. Well, this was a bit of a surprise, I must admit, but with the strings and the choirs and Stephen preaching to the fraternity and playing piano, gospel had arrived. Well, let's say white gospel. I love it, but it really got hammered by the critics as being a very poor imitation of the traditional gospel sound and sang by a white guy whose voice ain't that great. Okay, on to 4, and this is where the album really took off. Jimi Hendrix guested on this track, Old Times, Good Times, and he adds a brief solo, typical of his material from Cry of Love. The song's about how Stephen got interested in playing the guitar in the early days, when it was all pleasure learning the licks and the solos. The organ fades us out with frantic congas. Hendrix manages to weave in and out and around Steve's contribution, and they interact very, very well. The organ and guitar mixed. An amazing song, I think. Right, last track on side 1 was Go Back Home. Another heavyweight joins Stills on this, with Mr. Eric Clapton on lead guitar. Stills opens it up with some lovely wah-wah guitar as the rhythm floats in and slowly speeds up. And it's that liquid gold blues that comes out of the wah-wah. And then near on 3.5 minutes, Eric arrives to scorch the earth. The two intertwine with twin-like accuracy. For guitar connoisseurs, it really is a thing of beauty. Pure electric. The two legends together. The effect is mind-blowing, especially when you play this loud. On to side 2, bit of a come down after that. Sit yourself down. We get both Nash and Crosby on harmonies again. It's solid, if not a little aimless. Could have turned up on a CSN album. 7, To a Flame. Sounds a bit like a Buffalo Springfield outtake. It's got atmospheric friends, a gorgeous ballad with clever vibes and orchestration parts that always balance on the sappy and sugary, but never really cross. The guest star on drums, Ringo Starr. On to track 8. Now this I love, Black Queen. It's Stephen Stills on acoustic guitar. It's about a card game, and he brings out his ace. There's some exceptional playing here. His roots impersonations, lots of chord changes, and sharp stinging playing with the strings almost torn out of their places. And that completely authentic hoarse, folkish voice mumbling the lyrics with just enough sincerity to make you dismiss the fact that the guy is white. Okay, on to track 9, Cherokee. And Cherokee, the horns come in and beef this song up. There's a couple of nice solos, one from flute and the other from alto sax. The rhythm, guitar and keyboards are fast and furious. Stills tells us a piece of history about the Cherokee Indian, and it rolls into We Are Not Helpless, the final song. Again, Stephen employs more string arranging, and there's a bit of a gospel plea here before it roars to the finish line with heated organ in unison with the backing vocals. The final is Steve trying to match the choir's power. It's the kind of record that sits there and does nothing for you until you feel around the third listen or so that it's starting to creep under your skin in some mystical way, that this guy really is so friendly and homely and sincere, and you don't mind the friendship. Keep going with it. It's a terrific first solo album, and it's at number 4 in my top 20 for 1970.